shake your ass. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Letting a Wheel Pick My Crafts. And I think we'll just dive straight in. I'm pretty sure we all know what's going on. If you don't, then feel free to watch my other videos. So let's find out what I'm going to be making and spin that wheel. Ah, please be nice to us. Ooh, my choice. I don't think I've had my choice for picking kind of what I want to make. I don't think I have anywhere. Oh, what's on here? I don't want to screw myself over though. I don't know what to pick. What have we not done? I'm definitely not picking table, not after the last one. I'm thinking I might go for lamp, like lampshade. I think that's what this means. It is a picture of a lampshade, but I think it means any kind of lighting thing. Because I don't think we've had lampshade yet. But the material wheel can really screw it up. I don't know whether to keep it quite open. You know what, we'll just go lampshade. We'll live on the edge, why not? So I think it'll be some sort of lampshade or light fitting. I think I'm going to regret this, but it's too late, I've decided. Okay, let's find out what this lampshade has to be made out of and spin that wheel. Oh, no. I don't want to spin you. Oh, okay. Recycled. That's not too bad. Basically, the recycled one on there, I don't think we've had that yet. It means I can't buy anything new. So this lampshade has to be made from stuff that's pre-owned, which to be fair, I've got a lot of crap, so it should be fine. I think I'm going to be alright on this one. I won't need a big budget either, because I'm not going to really need to buy anything. The thing is, I'm looking around my wall of crap to see if I can find some inspiration. Oh, there's one thing I've got. I've just seen something over at that side. I'm not going to tell you yet. That would make a good lampshade. Oh, I think that's fine. That's alright actually. Nah, it's going to be okay. I've got plenty of options. Okay, so it's time to find out how much I'm allowed to spend. And you might be thinking I won't be spending any money on this, but I can buy second-hand things. I just can't buy new things. And I'm thinking I'd like a little budget because I wouldn't mind buying a pre-owned lamp from like the charity shop or something.
Excuse me, lady.
Just to get us started. I don't know whether that's cheating. I don't think it is. Because I've kind of got an idea of what I want to do. I'm looking at the material. It's distracting us. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that. That's over there. I'm not going to tell you. But if I already had a lamp, then it's going to be very easy to make. I don't know if that's cheating though. I'm allowed an easy one anyway. Because the last one was awful. The last one was absolutely horrible. So I'm allowed an easy one today. Right, let's find out how much I can spend and spin that wheel. Watch after all that, it'll land on 0. Oh, okay, 25 quid's fine. That's absolutely okay. It had a bit of a mind of its own there. It was heading that way, and then all of a sudden it stopped in reverse. And the thing is, usually I would have another wheel that would tell me whether I can use any other materials for support and structure and decorative stuff. But I don't need to with this because I'm using recyclable materials. So that basically means anything. I can use anything. So I'm not going to spin the next wheel because it's just, well, it's a waste of time. So in today's episode, I'm going to be making some sort of lampshade. I have to use all recyclable materials. I can't buy anything new, and I've got a £25 budget. And to be fair, I think it's going to be pretty easy actually. And if anything goes wrong in this episode, there's something clearly wrong with us. I am completely set up for success with this. Nothing can go wrong. I'm gonna have to have a think actually, because I've got loads of things I can do. I could use some of them things. I could even use some of that. Oh, I'm spoilt for choice. I'll come up with something, I'll have a think. I'll have a hunt around in my boxes and see which materials are speaking to us. I think that one's saying hello. Yeah, right. Anyway, I'll see you in a few weeks and we can figure out what I've actually decided to do. Jump in, loser. We're going shopping. Do it again. Well, I've picked a great day for shopping, haven't I? I have picked the worst day ever. It is absolutely chucking it down. Does anyone want any rain? Seriously, does anyone want to take some rain from the UK? You can have it. It's fine. We will trade you some rain for some sun. It's not stopping. I don't want to go outside. This is why I don't go outside. But this is the charity shop I'm going to, and hopefully it's going to have a nice lamp. Palliative, neurological and bereavement support. I think my money will be well spent there, so fingers crossed I can pick up a nice lamp, and hopefully I don't get carried away and buy anything I don't need. Although I do see some nice things already. But we'll soon see. It's gonna be so hard to film as well, because it's like pissing down. I'm gonna get so wet. Ugh. Oh. I see a couple of lamps. Slim pickings, but I'm liking that red one. There's that one, but there's no lampshade. It's only £3, that's so cheap. It's tiny though. Other than that, there's literally nothing. There's a couple of lamps here. And then there's a lot of like just fashion. There's barely anyone in here. I think we'll go for that red one. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fancy that doorstop. That's pretty cute. You can still hear the rain. It's so loud, bloody hell. Got my lamp. And now I have to go back outside. Look at the state of it. I'm gonna get so wet. Well, I got my lamp. Also, sorry if I sound really quiet when I'm out videoing. I can't stand recording, like, out and about. I hate it. There was no sticker or price on this. And when I got to the till, she said, oh, like £4.50. I was like, well, just charge us a tenner. It's like, it's for charity. £4.50 is quite cheap for like a massive lamp. I don't know whether I like the redness of it, so I think I'll have to change that. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. I'll have to meet you back in the studio and see what I come up with. I've got a few ideas, it'll be fine. I'm creative, I'm creative. Creative and wet, that's what I am. Just wanna get back inside, into the studio, and out of this shitty weather. So I finally got my lamp into the studio, and obviously I wasn't gonna want this lampshade, it needed to go. So I went at it with a scalpel and a pair of scissors, and just ripped it to shreds and got rid of the bulk of the original shape of this lampshade. And like I said before, red isn't particularly one of my favourite colours, so that definitely had to change. So I took it outside and spray painted it with some spray paint that I already had in the studio. This isn't brand new. In fact, this tin of spray paint I think is over 10 years old and it still works. Over 10 years old. That's how long I keep stuff. So I decided to spray paint it this kind of like creamy green colour. It's a very unusual colour, but I wanted it to be quite neutral because I have not necessarily a chaotic plan for the lampshade part, but it's going to be very colourful. So I've got my altered lamp here, and yeah, it looks very, very plain and boring. I was really tempted to kind of splatter this into like a graffiti pattern or something with like loads of different coloured paints, but I stopped myself because I've got a different idea. So I'm thinking I'm going to make a lampshade completely out of yarn, and I think that'll look quite fun. Like if we think about the lampshade here and have it kind of swooping down, believe it or not, this wasn't my original idea. Right, so in this box, something caught my eye, and it was this stuff. And I think I bought this when I did one of the pound shop challenges, and I thought that would look really cool. It's kind of a lampshade, and it would look really cool as a lampshade. The only problem is, like, I feel like I could go out and buy a lampshade or buy a lamp, and it looked like that. This isn't like new, it isn't exciting. And I feel like, what's the point of making something that I can just go out and buy? It just seems pointless. And also just far too boring for me. It was just like a really like, I don't know, too serious. I'm just not having it. So I scrapped that idea. I was like, nah, I want something a little bit more exciting. So I think the yarn lampshade idea is way more fun. I've just realised it's going to take me absolutely ages to make. It's going to be worth it though. It's definitely going to be worth it. I can see it in my head and it looks great. Alright, so I'll start off with a bit of grey. So I'm thinking, I need it quite long and I'd much prefer it to be too long than too short. So if I snip it there, and then if I go around like this, and then if we just tie that into a knot, I might double knot it. I think one knot's not enough. Yeah, I think this is gonna look good. So I'm just gonna spend the next hour, 2 hours possibly, making a lampshade out of yarn. If it ends up looking shit, mind, I'm not gonna be happy. Oh, I'm just debating, you know. I'm at a loss now. I'm wondering whether to leave them hanging like this and do like a yarn chandelier lamp. Or my original idea was to do like that. I don't know, I'll do the whole thing first and then I'll make a decision. Okay, so it's been about an hour now. In fact, I think it's been over an hour. And I think I might be halfway done. I don't know, what do you think? It's hard with something like this, you just can't tell how long it's actually going to take to do. And before you ask, yes, I am regretting this decision because it is taking forever. However, saying that, my vision's coming to life. I think it's going to look so cool. I'm still debating whether to keep it kind of dropped like a chandelier kind of lampshade, or to taper it in and create something a little bit more sculptural. Something like that's different, isn't it? That's weird, isn't it? And I kind of like weird. How much yarn do I need though? Do I need to cover the entire thing? It needs more, doesn't it? It definitely needs more. And if you're wondering if there's any kind of technique or rhythm to this or anything like that, there definitely isn't. I'm just kind of throwing whatever colours I want on it and deciding where they go at that time. It's just very random.
I am so random. I can't believe I just did that.
I've been bopping away at the tunes, just threading yarn onto here. It's actually been quite fun. I'm enjoying myself. But I've got, I don't know, an hour, another 2 hours left. It's definitely given me, can you remember when I did the yarn wigs? But I have a feeling by the end of this, I'm going to have lost my mind. It's given me them vibes. I feel like I've been transported back. When did I do that? Like a year ago or 2 years ago? I feel like I've been transported back to my yarn wig. I feel like that's exactly what I'm making, in fact. I'm not going to chat for too long though, because, you know, I need to get this done. I'm going to whack the tunes on and I'm going to get yarning. I'm sorry if you can see my, like, hips dancing away in the background, but the songs that I've got on are pretty good, so you'll just have to deal with it. And shake your ass. It literally told me to shake my ass. One of the songs was telling me to shake my ass, and I can't not shake my ass. If someone's telling us to do that, I'm gonna do it, whether I look like a twat or not. Okay, I think I've got enough yarn on this. I feel like I do because I was thinking, as I was doing it, if I taper it in like that, I still don't know how I'm going to do this, by the way. So if I taper all of this in, and then if I do like a twisting motion, like, how fun is that? Honestly, I kind of want to just keep it like that and just have the yarn dangling. Oh, what do we think? Oh, I've got too many options. I've got it nice and twisted like that. That looks cool. That looks super cool. And it looks a lot more structured. Whereas when it's hanging down, it looks like a little bit messy. And I've got some macrame yarn. And I'm thinking is tie this off. So wrap this around here. This is very, very kind of trial and error. I think it'll work though. So if I just tie that off. It's hard to do when I haven't got anyone here to help us. That's the issue though, it wants to unravel again. Now what do? I kind of want to leave it, you know. I kind of like it like that. Maybe just give it like a bit of a haircut. What happens if I do like a nice little bow design? This was not in my head, but I'm just going with it. The problem is though that this isn't particularly secure. So if someone undid my bow, I'd be it would all just unravel. So if you ever come round mine, don't unravel my lamp. Feeling very indecisive. Do I leave it? Do I not leave it? I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna definitely cut it. Hopefully I won't regret this. Oh, I kind of like that. See, like that's completely different. You've never ever seen anything like this before, and that's what I was aiming for. It won't be to everyone's taste, but I'm kind of loving it. I've just made art. I've completely made art. So now I just need a light bulb in it, and we'll see what it looks like when it's on. I haven't actually tested to see if this lamp works, so that was a mistake, but fingers crossed it's gonna work. And to keep in theme with the recycled materials, I've got an old pack of light bulbs, and if you don't believe us, it's literally only got one left in. I use these for my bedside lamps, and this is a spare, and I'm just gonna pop it inside, and fingers crossed this is gonna look good. Oh, it works, yeah. Turn the lights off, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like in the dark. I kind of like it, but I don't know whether I like it as much as I want to like it. I don't know, it feels a bit homemade. It feels a bit kind of, it doesn't feel as elegant as I wanted it to feel. It feels a little bit on the messy side. Hang on a second, just bear with us. What happens if we undo this and I'm gonna let it all hang and let's see what it looks like then. Oh my god, it's multifunctional, look. I can tighten it up. Oh, it looks better like that actually. Do we think it looks better like that? Because when it's tightened, I don't know, it looks weird. Tight, loose. I've made a kinetic lamp. I'll just undo it just to see what it looks like, because I might like it as a chandelier instead. Right, you're gonna have to let us know which way we prefer it. Do we prefer it like a chandelier like that, or do we prefer it like how I had it before? I kinda like it as a chandelier as well. I actually really like it like that. In fact, I think I prefer it like that. I can't tell, I need to stand back from it. When you look further away from it, it looks awful, but up close it looks nice. I feel like it needs to be shorter. There's too many choices and there's too many decisions to make, and I don't feel like I'm in the right frame of mind to make the right decisions. Because if I cut this down, it's done. There's no reversing it. Everyone will have to let me know their thoughts in the comments before I try pissing around with this and doing anything else with it. Well, that just about does it for today's video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I guess I'll try and find a place for this lamp in the background somewhere. There's no space left at all. I'll squeeze it in somewhere. I'll find a place. But I'll see you next week for a brand new video.